Behind the mask.
What's up, my boy?
What's good, family? Another day in paradise. You know what it is.
You damn right it's another day in paradise, dog.
Yes, sir.
And we back.
That's right.
As my people from South Georgia like to say, we bite.
We bite.
We bite,
Season
baby.
6, man.
Season 6, dog.
Yeah, BTM, it's time to go, baby. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
man.
Shit, you got the all black on, all black everything, but you got the BTM hat on too, bro.
You right, I do though, dog. You know what I'm saying? You see, season 6, man, we got our own merch coming out. Slowly but surely. You see the logo right here on the side. You know what I'm talking about? You flip that thing back around. This is what we be shooting at. This is home base.
Repping
Atlanta
the A.
has been very good to us. So, you know,
Repping the A.
feel free to click on the link in the bio, in the podcast. Also, that QR code that you're seeing, make sure you tap on that thing and you sign up and get yourself some BTM gear. First of many to come. Please believe it.
That's what's up, man. Shout out to Residency. Rocking with them, you know what I'm saying? Getting
Yeah.
the merch out for us. You know what I mean?
Residency.
Yes,
Hey,
indeed.
listen, them boys fire.
They're doing
So-
some dope stuff. Make sure y'all cop that merch too. The
Make
more
sure you
y'all
cop.
cop, the more we'll put out. Show.
Right on, bro.
Yo, man, but season 6, bro, I'm looking forward to it. More Hall of Fame guests, more award-winning artists, obviously introspective conversations, bro.
Oh, no doubt.
Never
Hey.
heard before stories, you know what I mean?
We talking about baseball. We talking about Hall of Fame coaches and player, all tied into one. Do your research.
Yeah. Little hint right there.
Yeah, dropped a little nigga. But nah, man, we got some heat. Excited to be back and excited to spread the gospel
Yes, sir.
of how we see it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Because at the end of the day, that's what it's all about.
Yeah,
Just,
man.
you know, we want to be able to give our take and be able to share it with you guys at home, you know, so we can put you up on game, free game.
Yeah, peel back the layers and really go deep to see who people are, who our guests are. Obviously, a lot going on with us. We take time off during the summer because things happen, life be life, and sometimes you need a little bit of a break.
Man, what the hell you talking about?
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Last year, season 5, we took a little break because obviously I had some issues going on with my health. Season 6 going into this season, a little bit different. You talking about being back. My brother, you done had a little bit of issues too, man.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I did. And my issue for a lot of people that didn't know, you know, people who are close to me know, but I had to go up under the knife,
Yeah.
back surgery. I had to have a fusion of a couple of vertebrae in my back. And when I tell you, bro, it was an emotional roller coaster. I went from, oh, I'm all right, to barely can get up, to not being able to walk, several injections. Listen, I was in so much pain, and feel free, like, I'm just telling you what I went through.
Yeah.
But I was in so much pain, bro. Like, I've never had a baby, never thought about having a kid. But I'm willing to put my pain up against any woman that was in labor. That's how painful it was.
Oh, no. Did you have to get an epidural?
I did.
Oh, shit.
I had to get several. And it just got to a point to where I couldn't, even when I got it, how much pain I was in, I still couldn't walk. And a lot of it had to do with just the nerve damage. I didn't realize my vertebrae I was bone on bone.
And this is from the playing days.
Yeah, and it came from, you know, obviously just enduring my playing days. You know, shortened fullback necks, you know, taking pride in going up against big 300-pound linemen. Like you, like I used to do you all the time in practice.
Pause that. Nah. We got the tape.
But I did have my fair share though.
Facts.
Fair share, like just going up. It's a rugged game, and so from all of that combined over throughout the years, you know, of consistently playing, getting treatment, it just got to a point, bro, to where I couldn't operate no more, and that's the reason why I had to have the surgery.
And you talked about treatment too, bro. Like, you know, a lot of people don't know the stuff that goes on behind the scenes. You know what I mean? Like, there's time we had production meetings or meetings about BTM media, and you sitting up there with the treatment going on in your back for hours on end just to be able to sit through the meetings, and then you got to get up in 5 minutes and walk around, stretch it out.
Yeah.
Standing up hurts. You know, I've seen it. And the people may not know that, what you had to go through and actually endure. And, you know, it's not for sympathy or anything, but just educating people on the real that really does go, things that do go on behind the scenes. Like, as much as superhuman they may feel that Takeo Spikes is, it's like, yo, when you all break it down, we all human.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but what was the deciding factor? Because we learn to deal with pain on a daily basis. Even to this day, I deal with pain, wake up with pain, you wake up with pain. What was the deciding factor to you were like, nah, I have to get this treatment?
Well, the first thing that happened when I really started to consider it. Like, I couldn't, as much as I love playing golf, and I think everybody should have an outlet, but I'll be more specific when we talk about the guys that played the game. You know, that was your purpose and that was your life. So when you get out of the game, you got to have something that's going to keep you level set. And my outlet was playing golf. And when I got to a point to where you talked about having production meetings and I got to always sit with the pillow behind my back, or I got to sit on the pillow. When I get finished playing golf, I got to go to the cryotherapy chamber and go freeze up. And I'm sitting down, I got to ask you to help. Hey man, help me get up. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, for me, that was a call, but it still wasn't enough. And the thing for me that really made me decide to do it was I saw, after receiving a few injections, and I still was jacked up and still really couldn't walk, and the sciatica going down my leg, and I couldn't feel one side of my leg. It was starting to become numb. And then what really scared me was the drop foot. Yeah. You know, like, I could tell like my foot didn't have the same strength. And that was the point to where it was like, you know what, it's time. It's time. Because I think so many times we become accustomed to just living in pain. Yeah. And like I was waking up in agony every day and didn't know it. And it's like, how can you say you did not know it? Well, in football, one of the coaches will always tell you, like, it's a difference between, you even mentioned this in one of the prior episodes. There's a difference when you're hurt and injured. When you're injured, that means you're out. You can't go. But when you're hurt, that means, shit, everybody hurt.
Everybody hurt, yep.
Like, I could go and make a tackle and my shoulder may be hurting, but that does not warrant me saying, hey, let me get a play. If that's the case, everybody be taking a play off. You know what I mean? So I became accustomed with that, still having that same mentality. And I hear my mother just saying, boy, you better take your ass to the damn doctor, get it cut on. And I'm like, I ain't doing that. And, you know, and I know as players, we just sit back and we think like, man, don't never go get cut on.
Never go under the knife.
Never go up under it, right? But it's like, for me, I had to think like, why wouldn't you? And the reason why, which brought it home, you think of the quality of life. That's the only thing that matters when you get finished playing. And as you get older in life, quality of life is everything. I don't care about how much money you have, but if you wake up feeling like shit, you ain't gonna be able to go spend it. Yeah. And when you do have it, it's gonna be several times. Even give you my regimen when I was trying to go by and make it from day to day. It was, you know, doing massages weekly, going to see the chiropractor weekly. And sometimes I would get 2 massages a week. And for me, I just thought, like, man, imagine if I didn't have what I have to be able to get that treatment. Imagine how people feel who don't have the necessary needs to be able to go get it. So that's when I knew then, like, my quality of life was suffering. And like, I just, you know, I knew like something got to change.
Yeah. You dealt with it a while, because I remember when you first had the back issues, back when we were still playing. And then shortly after I was out the league, and we would hang out, and you and sometimes Los, you know, you guys would be out and like, nah, I gotta go back to the hotel. I gotta go home. I can't. You always say, I'm tucking my tail.
Yeah.
Like I'm out. And I'm just like, man, these old ass dudes, man, they can't hang out no more. I'm the young one. And then it happened to me back during season 1. When we had Champ on. I think we had Champ on season 1, or Roddy White, somebody we had on. And I couldn't make it out the car. You had to come out the studio and get me out the car because I could barely walk.
Yep.
So when it finally hit me, I felt like shit. I'm clowning my brothers, not knowing what they're really going through, not knowing what the pain is really like. And then to see it come back this year when we sitting there, we was in New York watching the NBA finals, NBA playoffs, and same thing. He was like, bro, I got to tuck my tail. My back is on fire. Pause. I can't do this. So salute to you for even making that decision to be like, nah, I don't want to deal with this no more, because there's a lot that comes with it. You know what I mean? I don't like going under the knife. We talked about it. How long did it last when you made the countdown? Because the doctors always say, all right, count back from 10 to 1.
Oh, before
you go to sleep. Yeah, before you was knocked out.
Before I was knocked out, man, I done had a whole conversation telling the nurse. She was like, no, it was actually a he. He was like, yeah, you're going to be knocked out. I'm like, I will probably give you 2 seconds. I was like, man, you crazy. I'm going down to 4.
Right.
10. No. Gone.
Knocked out.
Gone.
Damn, bro.
And he made fun of me when I woke up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He was like, you couldn't even withstand a 2 count. Like, get out of here, dog. What you talking about?
But that's the subconscious stuff that we deal with to keep control of the situation, because it's not a situation we want to be in.
Nah.
You know what I mean? But were there like, there had to be, I guess, a fear, or was there fear, or was it more faith? Was there things that may have happened with the surgery that could have happened, like ways your life may change after the surgery that you may not be cool with, complications from it, you know what I mean? Because that always weighs into if you decide getting it or not.
Yeah, to your point, what really made me decide on getting it, I was going through all of that, and I remember, like, it got to a point to where, like, I wasn't, from a sexual drive standpoint, like, it was just like, the pain was so bad, like, I couldn't really consider it. Like, it was just like, maybe I'd be better tomorrow. And that bothered me. Cause listen, listen, your boy got a high drive on him, dog. I'm telling you. And so I was like, this gotta change. But let me tell you, conversely, after speaking with the doctor, he was like, hey man, listen, I'm gonna fix you up. And like, you will be able to tell that you've had surgery.
Right.
You know, he was like, but you're going to be like damn near like 90% better.
Yeah.
Even more. He said, but I got to tell you about, you know, some of a complication that could come out of it.
Yeah. I heard about one complication too. I don't know if I would have been able to go through with that one.
Oh, nah, this is probably the same one, because it's called retrograde ejaculation.
Yeah.
And so when he told me that, I was like, bring it down, man. What we talking about? And then, so retrograde ejaculation, God damn, I can't even
say it. You would talk about it.
Don't even want to be associated with it. No points at all. All right, retrograde ejaculation is typically you have an orgasm, boom, comes out through the urethra, your penis, boom. Euphoria, feeling, all of that.
Yeah, it's out there.
So what this does is, because it's not going to come out, the retrograde means it actually goes back into your bladder. And then the next time when so you don't even have an orgasm. You still have the feeling, but you don't actually have the orgasm, meaning 100% all come out through euphoria, all of that. So it goes back in your bladder. Then when you have to pee, then that's when it comes out, the semen. So I was like, he told me that, and I was like, well, what are the chances? And he was like, well, we've got it down. It's not 100%, but there is a little 2 to 3% chance that it could happen. Okay, so So out of 100 people, what I heard, out of 100 people that have this surgery, 3 out of 100 come out with this problem. I say, okay, well, in the event, if it does happen, knock on wood, okay, how long does it last? And he was like, well, some people have had it maybe a couple of months, 3 months, 6 months. I even had one person say it a year, but it does come back. So immediately I was thinking, man, your boy already got a high sex drive. I was like, when the last time it happened to somebody you don't cut on?
I'm thinking, yo, there's no way in hell. I couldn't take that
What
shit.
would you do if the doc would have told you that?
It just, you know me, I'm kind of squeamish to be this big, but that's like, it stay in you? Like, Paul, that's like you, I was saying, like you busting yourself? Like, no, that's, nah, I might have had to deal with the back pain, bro. Cause like, there's a chance that, and you don't know how long it's gonna be. You know what I'm saying? Like, just respect, like, on some real life stuff, that's just different. You know what I'm saying? And obviously you got to take the medical, on a serious tip, you got to take the medical advice of, you know, your professionals, your doctor, but just the thought of that and the chance of that, I'd have been skeptical, bro. I've been skeptical about a lot of other stuff, so yeah, I probably do.
In the words of Lily Pearl Spikes, or Lily Pearl, you hurt bad enough, you gonna do whatever it takes to make that pain go away. And that's where I got to the point.
Yeah.
So fast forward, I'm good though.
You good? So I don't need to know that, but he all right, y'all. So it ain't no all of that. So you straight.
Yeah, I'm good.
So hold up. So even before that, so you couldn't do what you needed to do. You know what I'm saying? Like,
No,
no baby boys, none of that. Like,
nah. You ain't picking nobody up.
None of that.
You ain't. Listen, the most urge you'll feel because that pain just throbbing. You may go over there and cop a feel or two, but after that, listen, bro, that pain gonna reset you.
I feel you.
I'm telling you, and I was afraid about that retrograde ejaculation.
Yeah.
You know, I actually did enough research, and I knew somebody who actually went through that. You know what I mean? So, It was good to know. It was good to know I was straight.
And it's good to be on the other side.
Yeah, and it's good to be on the other side of that. You're right about that. And I didn't even have to wait to find out.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Mm-hmm. So, other things you said, golf, you talked about, obviously, the sex life, your daily
Hey man, let me tell you how I find out though. Like, this is pretty. No, it's pretty.
It's crazy. This is behind the mask. No lies in the lounge.
There's no lies in the lounge.
No lies in the lounge.
I actually found out when you have the surgery, you ain't having sex for a few months anyway.
Right.
Well, maybe a month. But how I found out, I was so shook, dog. Laying in bed, I'm like, man, when I have it, you know, I was like, I hope it don't. So, you start praying. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, man, I just want to be back to what I used to be. Bruh, what happened was I actually fell asleep one night, woke up, and it was hard for me to get out of bed, you know, after post-surgery. But when I got back home and was able to lay down, bro, I was like, I realized at that moment, going to the bathroom, I was like, I'm good. Must was what I was watching before I went to bed.
Too much information.
Hey, dog, ladies beside me, though, you know what I'm saying?
Good to go. You good to go.
I told her, I said, hey, babe, look.
We back?
We back. You good. You ain't got nothing to worry about.
Oh, my God. Oh
Okay,
my God.
I mean, I had to get that out. I had to get that
So just for the
Didn't
people,
want to scare people, you know?
yeah. So
Listen,
you got to keep it 100.
We have an informative show. This is going behind the mask.
No lies in the lounge, bro. No lies in the lounge. So you talked about what you couldn't do. And this is some of the things that I find still with we're open enough to talk about things that happen personally in our lives, right?
Yeah.
But why still so many of us, so many black men for one, so many athletes, former athletes, why do we still not take our health seriously? Like that's an issue. Because imagine if you were to continue to wait. You know what I'm saying?
I feel you on that.
So I'm glad you actually took the initiative to go when you did, but I mean, this problem, we still see it with people we know, former players, our brothers, our black men, like we still don't take our health that seriously. So why do you think that is? And then talk about the importance of actually getting checked out, talking to your doctor.
Yeah, we're afraid to know. Like, I think if we have the same energy, KTSE.
Keep that same energy.
Keep that same energy, like how we want to know everything about our significant other or enough to know so we can make an informed decision on how we're going to move together or even separately. You got to keep that same energy when it's about who you are. And I think as men in general, especially black men, like we don't want to know. And by the time we find out, it's, oftentimes it's too late when we typically could have took care of it when we found out. So I think that has a lot to do with it. We've become so accustomed and I'm speaking from the percentage of guys in sport, to where we feel like once you out of the game, you still have that same mentality. So you feel as if, it'll be all right, I'll shrug it off. Right. Or I'll do a little rehab and then it will get better. But for me, the one thing that really made the light bulb go off, I went to go get a checkup. Shout out to the Brain and Body from the Trust. Did a whole body scan, bro. And I eat very clean. Some of my numbers from just simple things, from like high blood pressure, things of that nature, doing a sleep study test, things that I typically ace and pass, I still did, but it was on the higher end.
Levels were high. Yeah.
My levels were high. And a lot of that came from, the doctor asked me, he was like, and I showed him yearly checkups that I actually do. And he was like, your level's high compared to the last time you did it, but even when your yearly checkups. And I told him what I had going on, and he was like, that's a problem. He was like, every day that you go through agony or you feel like you are that war dog, you're putting more stress on something else inside of your body. And so that educated me at the time to where, you may feel like, it's just my back. But what happens is, as a direct result, now that stress levels goes all over your body. And so when stress is inside of your body, it has a tendency to wreck everything. And it's going to come out, whether or not towards your significant other or your kid, that stress is going to come out as you don't have a desire to talk about things that you used to talk about as a family, or as you being a father to your kid or whatever. And so for me, that's what, brought it home for me. I was like, man, I never thought of it that way. But if other levels are starting to creep up now, just imagine as you keep going, it ain't gonna go nowhere. So why wouldn't you go get it fixed when it starts to affect your quality of life? Yeah. And that's where it got at for me.
Yeah, you couldn't, I know you couldn't work out for a little while, couldn't jog, and like.
Yeah, I couldn't work out. Yeah. And I love, I'll be the first one to tell you, I ain't trying to go in there and put all that damn weight on there.
I ain't no need now.
Ain't no need. I ain't doing that. I just want to still look good to my old lady when the candle was lit. You know what I'm saying? Still do it for her, and be functional throughout the daytime. Like if I want to play some golf, I want to play it. But when you get to that point to where it starts to kill your quality of life, man, you got to make a decision.
Yeah.
And once you make that decision, now other factors inside of your body, they're not stressed. You're not gonna have a high blood pressure when you even know that I don't eat bad at all or have anything inside of my body to cause that.
Yeah. And you talked about the trust. Shout out to the trust for offering some of the former players, not all of the former players, the brain and body assessment.
Yeah.
Definitely check that out.
2 years or more.
2 years or more.
Yep.
Yeah. Invested 2 years or more. But a lot of things can be avoided health-wise, mental health, physical health, if you do just get checked out. And, like we said, we had a long off season, so just shout out a couple of players, in my opinion, that passed too soon when it comes to our former brethren we either played with, known, or saw play. Obviously, Larry Allen, we talked about that when that hit me. He passed away. Former teammate Jacoby Jones, Victor Allen, and somebody that, being former Buffalo Bills, we know about OJ. You know what I mean? Even those guys, it just hits different when it's somebody that you know.
Yeah,
you know
and even to that point, I didn't correct you earlier, but Victor Riley.
Victor Riley, I'm sorry. Yeah, Victor Riley.
Victor Riley. That was one of my teammates.
Yeah.
So I think it's important that we talk about it. We have these conversations, and we're not saying that they didn't do anything to kind of check or no.
Yeah, nah.
Yeah, just, to have some clarity. But I think it's always good to acknowledge, like, regardless of whatever may happen or didn't happen, one thing that we do or we can't agree on is they left way too early.
Way too early, man.
And I think the more that we can have these type of conversations and let people know, like, yeah, it's okay to be tough. It's okay to not do this and that. But at the end of the day, you got to take care of yourself.
Yeah.
Because we're built to think, hey, we got to be the provider. And rightfully so.
Yeah.
But you can't pour from no empty cup.
Facts.
I've tried.
Yeah.
And what you end up pouring, usually when you walk in a room that you can add or pour life, now you're pouring stress on top of somebody else's stress. And so now you're building, it becomes divisive to where you can't connect on the way that you're used to. So yeah, man, that would be the main thing I would say.
Yeah, so shout out you telling the audience, absolutely make sure they stay on top of their health. We are the alpha males in our life.
Absolutely.
We are that rock for many people, so many people. And I even said last year, when I was going through my health scare, that you're only strong as your support system.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And just for the refresh some people who may not have known.
Yeah.
I
had lymphoma last year, so, and went through that, still have some lingering effects from that. But that scare, bro, that's like to your point, when your quality of life changes where you can't do things that you used to do, for me, that's the scary part, because there's still certain things I battle with, fatigue, and we know some other things that I went through over the time we took off. But it's different when you're used to operating a certain way consistently for so many years, and then you may hit like a 40 or 30 something, you're like, wait a minute, this is different. Because we think that it's supposed to, if it does happen, it's supposed to happen 70, 80, 90. 30, 40, we like, what's really going on?
Nah, man.
You know what I'm saying?
That's way too early, bro.
Way too early. And, like I said, to see some of our brethren pass away, that's the sad part. And guys that are going through deeper health issues than we are going through. You know what I mean? So not to, stay in that space, but just educate the audience, like, definitely stay on top of your health, because you only get one life. You only get one set of health. So salute to you, brother, for taking the initiative to stay on top of everything that you have going on and making sure that your quality of life is staying the way you want it to stay as long as you can.
Oh, no doubt, bro.
You know what I mean?
No doubt. So let's utilize the 96 check.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Let's utilize that. Check on each other. Check on a friend, man. And even if you didn't play the game, check on somebody. Just make sure and see. Just make sure they don't ask. Make sure the tendency they ain't ask for money all the time.
Facts, yo.
So you did work with that out.
Well, I'm glad you good, bro. You had the surgery, because season 6, baby, we back. You know what I'm saying? No retrograde ejaculations.
Nothing.
we back,
We
ready,
back, baby.
back, ready.
Here's
ready.
to being back, dog.
Season 6. Let's rock, yo.